Hey, everybody. Let's talk about another strategy to prevent election violence. And just as a reminder, the strategies that I'm talking about come from international research into best practices. So these are things that have been tried in places like Africa and Asia and Central America and South America. So we know that they are effective and we have some idea as to why they're effective. Also, there's a bunch of them. So the one that I'm going to talk about today is election monitoring. I want you to listen, think about it. Is this something that I could participate in and that I want to participate in? And if it's not, then keep listening. And in some other video, you'll find some other strategy. Not anybody is going to do all of the things, but there is something for everybody to do. When we talk about election monitoring, that's a little bit different. In fact, it's quite different from election administration and management, which is a different strategy. So election administration and management, that's about being the person who's actually putting together the election, working at the polls, doing the work, faithfully executing the job. And if you are election monitoring, you are watching those people. So you're observing, you're not actually actively participating, but you're watching and you're like the backup, you're the double checker. You're making sure that everything is happening exactly as it should be. And right away, you might be thinking there's a problem with this because what if the election monitors are actually all one-sided? And so they want cheating to happen and they want it to happen in a particular way. So the way that this is taken care of in most local areas is that actually the political parties are responsible for nominating election monitors. It doesn't happen the same way in every local area. So what you can do is you can actually go and just jump on a search engine and ask it, how do I become an election monitor in such and such county, whatever county you live in? Because there is no central database, at least not one that I've found. And then if there are election monitors present from both of the major political parties, then the idea is that they are balancing each other out and that somebody would say something if something was going really, really wrong. This is about making sure that the election itself is fair and that it's also perceived as fair. It's not actually enough for the election to go really well if people don't believe that it has gone really well. And so we want to make sure that there's somebody there to provide the double checks. Here's what you can do. First of all, find out how election monitors are chosen in your local area. So that's the hopping on a search engine spot. And then you can serve as an election monitor, quite likely, depending on your age and depending on where you are and whether you're registered as a member of a political party. And if you can't, or if that's just not your cup of tea, talk with other people and encourage them to be election monitors. Also, another thing you can do that really helps from an election violence point of view is saying, hey, did you all know that there is such a thing as election monitors? Did you know that when the election happens, there are Republicans and Democrats in the room who are watching the votes being counted or whatever the situation is? So it's about making sure that people know that this particular backup actually exists. Next time we talk, we'll do another strategy, and the next strategy is election mapping.